back, and if you're new, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you. So today we are going to be picking April's TBR. But first, let's take a look how I did in March. So for March, we had a book that intimidates me, and that would be Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. I read this one. And then we had Jane Austen inspired, The Library of Lost Things, and I read that. Over 500 pages, Children of Bone and Blood, read that one. Includes a Club, Bewitched, and I read that one. Author on the back cover, and we had Misery. I can't find the book right now, but I DNF'd this. It was just too much words for me. Like, I couldn't process everything. For some reason, the writing on this one just, it didn't do a good job for me. So I am still gonna watch the movie. I just DNF'd it. Alright, so the next one was Book You've Seen Someone Read in Public, and that would be Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. And then for TBR Knockout, for shape shifting, we used J.R. Ward, Lover Unveiled. Read that one. And then Includes Magic, which I already said I read, was Children of Blood and Bone. So that one's done. Buzzword was the location, and for that I selected Seaside Mystery, and I read this one. And then for the last one, which was my Reese Witherspoon book club pick, and that was Fair Play, and I read that one. So overall, not bad. Read them all. DNF'd one, but it still counts because I started it. So March TBR, success. Okay, so for April's TBR picks, we are gonna roll the dice 6 times. If I get doubles, then I have to add a spin for each double that I get. And I do not count if I get a double on the bonus round because I'm already in the punishment zone as it is. So we will, like I said, we will start off with 6 and see what we get. I'm gonna move the little piece around the board, and when I land on whatever one, I'm gonna scratch off, like scratch off tickets, and that is gonna be the prompt for the book that we will choose. So let's go ahead and get started with roll number 1. Roll number 1. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Circle on the cover. So for roll 1, we had Circle on the Cover. And for this one, I chose Anatomy of a Scandal by Sarah Vaughan. And the ring is a circle. And this one is about Sophie. She has a lovely home, 2 children, and a handsome, successful husband. In other words, she has a perfect life. But one night, her husband James comes home, and James makes a confession where it turns everything upside down. And she's questioning, like, did I ever know him or herself at that matter? So we needed to see what James confessed to doing, and why is she questioning whether she knows herself or not. So super excited to read this one. Roll number 2. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chapter titles. Alright, for roll number 2, we got chapter titles. And for that one, I chose His and Her by Alice Feeney. And this one is about a woman. She's murdered and blacked down. Newsreader Anna Andrews is reluctant to cover the case. Detective Jack Harper is suspicious of her involvement until he becomes a suspect in his own murder investigation. So we need to see why they think she's a suspect and why all of a sudden he becomes a suspect. Maybe he knew the victim. I don't know. So we shall see who is actually the murder victim. I mean, the murderer, not the victim, because we'll figure out who the victim is pretty soon. They know it's a woman, so I'm pretty sure they're going to release the identity very quickly. Roll number 3. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Blue Collar Hero. Roll number 3. We got a blue collar hero, and for this one I chose Bounced by Brill Harper. It's a novella, so it's pretty short. This one is about Anvil. He's a rough muscled bouncer at a roadhouse, and Sarah, she's like a type A. My world's mapped out. This is how my day is gonna unfold. Perfect, like she's got to meet her list requirements, and she decides she wants a night off. So she goes to the shady side of town and is going to sneak into this bar or whatever. But little did she know that this rough, tough, tattooed, muscled bouncer is about to save her from danger. All the danger except for him. So Little Miss Perfect Sarah might just kind of get her world turned upside down, and I'm here for it. Roll number 4. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 400 plus pages. Book 4. We'll roll 4. We got 400 plus pages. So for that, I chose These Violet Delights by Chloe Gong, and I've heard really good things about this one. And all I need to know about the synopsis is that it's in 1926 in Shanghai, and it is a retelling of like Romeo and Juliet with gangs, and that just sounds wonderful. So, and I also know that there is a second book out of this already, and I think I saw somewhere there possibly a third. I'm not 100% on that, but I know they have this one and one more. And I've been wanting to read it, and I finally found it at 2nd and Charles, so I bought it. So, book number 4. Roll number 5. 2. Technology themed. And being that we got doubles, we're going to have to add a roll. Roll number 5 got us a double, so we're gonna have to add another spin, another roll at the end, and this one is technology themed, and I found the perfect one. So this is Clicked by Tamara Ireland Stoned, and this is about Allie, who went to like a coding summer girls camp or whatever, and she developed this app where it pairs up users with their interest and things that they have in common, and it sends them on like a scavenger hunt type thing to find each other. But something goes wrong with her app, and it's at risk to exposing everyone's information, and she's trying to beat her arch enemy Nathan, who also is making some type of app or something, and she has to go in and figure out the problem that's with her app so that she doesn't expose everybody. So is she gonna have to work with him? Is he gonna help her? I don't know, but I think the concept of her creating this app and this app pairing people up around school or whatever is pretty freaking cool. So I can't wait to see like what the app entails and how she's gonna fix it. Roll number 6. And we got an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're out of spaces, so we go back to the beginning. 6, 7, 8. Indigenous author. For roll number 6, we got Indigenous author. And for that one, I picked My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. And I've seen a lot of people say that they like this one, so I'm very confident going in that I too will enjoy this one. Jade Daniels is an angry half-Indian outcast with an abusive father and absentee mother, and the whole town wants nothing to do with her. She lives in her own world, a world in which protection comes from an unusual source. Horror films, such as the ones with the masked killer, who basically takes revenge on the people who wronged them. Jason Voorhees is an example. And Jade narrates the life of Profrock, I think is how you say it, as it is one of those movies, but when blood actually starts spilling into the Indian River, she pulls us in and she pretty much predicts how this is gonna end at, once it's all over. And the further we're pulled into her thoughts, the more we see the girl behind the mask. Yeah, she's angry, but she's also a little girl, like a girl who's sad, scared, all these other things. So this is like her homage to horror and revenge and possibly triumph. So I'm super stoked for this one. So we shall see how it goes for me. We finished our regular rolls, which was 6 of them, and now we have 1 bonus roll, so let's do that one. So number 7. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Title starts with the letter E. For the final roll, roll number 7, title starts with E, and for that one I chose Every Last Secret by A.R. Torre. And this one is about Kat, who's worked for everything she has, her house, her social standing, and her husband. And the new couple moves in next door, and she's cautious, but like she still opens arms, warm welcome, the whole thing. And then the next door neighbors is Nina, and Nina she's not a lady of leisure. She is a life coach. She's off the rack dresses. She has personal issues, and her husband is just not with it at the moment. Like, he is not where she wants him to be, and she's anxious to move up into the world. So she figures her first step is this little town where she can do better, have better, and then she realized what she's really missing is William, the husband next door, is someone like him. So what does she do? She obsesses and learns everything she can, and she's fixated on being friends with Kat. And the entire time through her friendship, she is thinking probably like temptations to go after William and ways to get to him. And Kat, hopefully, we don't know yet, hopefully she catches on to this, and this little girl that just moved into the neighborhood doesn't just like hijack her husband. So we shall see how this turns out, but it could get very, very dangerous because, you know, a woman on a mission sometimes, even though it's not the best mission, can be dangerous. So while we're still here, let's go ahead and pick up, we're gonna pick the Reese Witherspoon Book Club book. And like I said before, the orange is adult and the pink are the young adult books. This is everything from 2017, I think she started it, through January. I have to add in January, February, and March's books still. So we're gonna pick one, see what it is, and maybe we can use that book on our buzzword or our TBR knockout. That way we don't have to add too many extra books, because, you know, we're already at 7, and then Reese would be 8, buzzword 9, and then 2 for the TBR knockout. Yeah, we're getting big here. All right, so I'm gonna turn away that way, and I'm gonna show you, and you're gonna help me pick this. Let's go with this one. Oh, we got an adult. Let's see what it is. The Giver of Stars by Jojo Moyes. This was from November 2019. So let's see what this book is about. Okay, I just looked up what this book is about, and I'm so excited. This one's about Alice, who is from England, and she meets and marries a handsome American, and she's hoping that she can get out of that England life and come to the States, and she goes to Kentucky, and pretty soon it feels very claustrophobic. She's also living alongside her father-in-law, and it's just kind of like not the ideal situation. So something comes along where they're looking for a group of women to go and deliver books to people as part of the Eleanor Roosevelt traveling library, which is pretty freaking awesome. So she goes and she meets the leader of this, and they also are joined by 3 other women. And it says, what happens to them and to the men they love becomes an unforgettable drama of loyalty, justice, humanity, and passion. These heroic women refuse to be cowed by men or by convention. And though they face all kinds of dangers in a landscape, this is at times breathtakingly beautiful and others brutal, they're committed to their jobs, bringing books to people who have never had any, arming them with the facts that would change their lives. Based on a true story rooted in America's past. It is unparalleled in its scope and epic in its storytelling. Funny, heartbreaking, enthralling, it is destined to become a modern classic, a richly rewarding novel of women's friendship, of true love, and what happens when we reach beyond our grasp for the great beyond. So excited. So excited. So yeah, definitely looking forward to this book. I'm going to have to get it... Either I'm going to have to purchase it on Kindle or see if the library has it, because I have some of her books. I have 3, matter of fact, and none of them are this one. So, I'll see if the library has it. And unfortunately, I can't use this for the buzzword or the TBR knockout. So, I'll have to find something else for those. So the first prompt on the TBR knockout is flowers on the cover. For this one, I've chosen Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. And this one is about 6 people who go to this one island. And there are rumors of like cannibalism and murder and all kinds of stuff. And they're there and one person goes missing and then someone gets murdered. So the rest of them are wondering like, what else can happen while we're out here. So I'm assuming we're trying to find the missing person, figure out who murdered them, or do we even care? Do we just want to get off the island? So I'm excited to read this one. I did read her other book she had put out. I don't know how many books she has out, but I know she has The Wife Upstairs. Yeah, so there's that one. And it says as well as multiple books for young readers. Okay, so I've never read any of her young reader stuff. I'm assuming kids books. I don't know. But I read the other one she wrote. I really liked it, so I'm excited to read this one. And then for the second prompt, it's Fresh and New, a debut novel. And for this one, the rules were pretty simple. It didn't matter if this author has 100 books. You just go back and read their debut novel. So for this one, I was able to choose one that's already on the TBR, and that is These Violet Delights by Chloe Gong. This was her first book, so it counts as her debut. Now, it does have flowers on it, but I didn't want to use the same book for both of those prompts. So we just added one there, and I'm thinking I'm going to have to add one more book for the buzzword because none of these have the keywords that I need in the title, and that is big, small, little, kind of like size reference adjectives. So I have to go and find a book that matches that criteria, whether it be physical, which I've looked over all of my shelves and I've yet to come across one that has any of those words that I haven't read. So I might have to deep dive into the digital Kindle world and see what I have on my Kindle, because there's a lot on there. So I'll probably have at least one. Hopefully it's something short. So let me go dig through that and I'll be right back. Alright, so for the buzzword, I found another book, and it's a novella. It's been sitting on my Kindle since 2012. This one is called Big Girls Do It Better by Jacinda Wilder. And basically, It's about the big curvy girl who doesn't think that the all put together super hot guy is into her, but then next thing you know, they're locking eyes and he has his eyes set on her. And this one, it says, this is the second night I've spent with him. So maybe the big girl got what she wanted and needed. So we shall see how she handles that. So here is my April TBR plus, I think 5, if I count it right, ebooks. So it's not super thick, but it's thick enough. At least 2 of them are novellas. 1 is a middle grade, so that's happening. And then the rest are under 400 pages. This is the only one over 400 pages, so let me go get to work on reading because your girl got a lot to read in April. So hope you guys enjoyed. Have you read any of these? What are your thoughts on that? And I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.